This was my first time watching Fatal Attraction. Oh, let's dive right in. So we start out with a nice, peaceful family. All right, it's in the evening, husband, wife, child. They're watching people get slimed on TV. The wife and the husband are prepping to leave. As mom is getting ready, the badass daughter puts lipstick all over her face. The mother says shit to the child. The child, her name is Ellen. She learns a new word, shit. She says it again and again as the doorbell rings and she goes to answer it. It's the babysitter. So mom and dad, Dan and Beth, go to a work event. Beth goes off as Dan has a drink with his corny ass friend who thought it was funny to mimic Asian culture. They then see a woman, Glenn Close. Her name is Alex. Dan's corny ass friend Jimmy thought he had game and tried to spit said game with Alex, but she curved his ass so bad. Dan encounters this woman again at the bar and they have a friendly chat. This woman, Alex, is an editor who just started a couple weeks ago. Dan is a lawyer who does legal work for the company she edits for. Now, bitch, I got a sense early on that Dan ain't shit, okay? I just felt it in my soul that he wasn't shit from the start. So he just seemed a little too intrigued to me. And I'm like, Dan, not too much. Not too much. Calm down, all right? So Beth, Dan's wife, she gets Dan's attention and they leave. Alex is clearly tickled by him and she wants that D, all right? It's evident. So they get home and Dan is clearly trying to fuck. But Beth lets their daughter sleep in the bed with them, so Dan ain't getting none tonight, unfortunately. The next day, Beth and Ellen are going to what they call the country to see Beth's parents. Dan is supposed to join them the next night. So Dan is now at work with his colleagues. Alex pulls up. They're talking about a book that's supposed to be published about a New Jersey senator who is cheating on his wife. In real life, however, there's an Ohio congressman who thinks the novel is based on his real life. Guilty much? So Dan wants to know if the author of this novel actually had an affair with the congressman of Ohio, and Alex assures him that she did, but that this woman has had affairs with multiple politicians, so her novel isn't exactly targeting this Ohio congressman. Now, the way Alex looks at Dan here, bitch, she wants that dick. Do you hear me? And Dan wants to give it to her. So after work, they see each other. It's raining outside and they end up running to a restaurant together holding hands. Okay, now Dan, I was right about you. You ain't shit. So they're at the restaurant and they're flirting the whole time. Alex then asks Dan if he's discreet. She was very vague with that question, but we all knew what the fuck she meant. She told Dan that she canceled a date that night to be there with him. He then leaves it up to her if whether or not they're gonna fuck. All right. And of course, Dan puts that dick all up inside of Alex. All right. In the kitchen on the counter, bitch. Faucet running and all. Oh, the subliminals. Glenn pulled out her titty. I mean, it was intense. All right, bitch, she then takes him salsa dancing. She asked the man if he had any energy and then takes him salsa dancing. Dan, I'm gonna whack you and your rhythmless ass this whole review. After the club, they're on the elevator. Dan pulls Alex's titties out, starts sucking them. They're making out. He slept over, lied to Beth, stuttering as she called him the next day. Lying ass Dan. And then Dan is supposed to be watching the dog. Dan, did you even take the dog for a walk? I'm curious. Let me know. So Alex calls Dan when he's back home because he left without saying goodbye, but he did leave a note. So he couldn't resist. He ends up going back to her place. They spend the day together. They go to the park together. And we learn here as Dan is opening up to Alex that he has daddy issues. His father took him to see this play as a kid and said that was the only time his father was nice to him as a kid. Alex is clearly falling for him and feels like she knows him and wants to see him again. But now he decides to use his marriage as an excuse as to why he can't see her. So the next morning, she freaks out when it's time for him to leave. I mean, she flips the fuck out. Bitch, she ripped his shirt. She pulled her titties out. Dan quickly learned that he fucked up. And Dan, we all been knew that you fucked up way before this. So Alex starts crying. I mean, she is nuts. And that means the dick must be good. Because she does that thing to her wrists. You know what I'm talking about. I just can't say it here. But I was gagged. I mean, girl. So her blood is all over him and her apartment. Dan, it doesn't look good, all right? So he was supposed to meet his wife and daughter at her parents' place and didn't. When Beth returns home, he is ecstatic to see her. It's like he misses her and he's relieved to see her because he's not dealing with that psychopath. So back at work, Alex pops up out of nowhere, waiting for him at the office. Everyone at the office sees them going into his office. She apologizes and then Dan tells her she looks great. Clearly flirting with this lady. Dan, you're dancing with the devil, and something tells me you like it. She then asks for a favor, which is to go see Madame Butterfly with her, which is the play that he saw with his dad as a kid. He tells her no, that it's not a good idea. Dan, this was the first smart decision you made in this film. So Alex pretends to be okay, but she is clearly out of it because she's at home crying, flickering the lights on and off, mascara running all down her face, bitch. It's just a lot going on. She then starts blowing up Dan's phone at work. He says it's not a good idea when he talks to her. He tells his secretary that if Alex calls back to just tell her that he's not there. All right, so time goes on and Alex starts calling the house phone. She demands he meets her the next day. Girl, when they meet up, she tells him, guess what? That she's pregnant. Bitch, Dan... And he says, how do you know it's mine? She says, because I don't sleep around. He then tells her, trying to comfort her, I guess, saying, don't worry, I'll pay for the abortion. And baby, Alex says she ain't getting no damn abortion, all right? She says it could be her last chance to have a child. Now, Dan, get some proof before you believe this nut job. Now, he does end up breaking into her place when she's not home to look for proof, and I guess just to find more about this crazy ass woman. What he does end up finding is her father's obituary. Her father, whom she said was still alive. Now, why are you lying about your father being alive, girl? You can't believe anything this woman says. So Dan ends up telling his corny ass work friend Jimmy everything. Jimmy pretty much tells him that he done fucked up, all right, and that Alex, has the upper hand. Dan shows up home one day to find Alex and his wife talking. All right, she has no chill. Alex and Dan play dumb like they haven't met before, like he hasn't been all up inside of her before. Beth told Alex how they're planning to move, which foils his plan because he didn't want her to know where they were going, and she still doesn't, but she knows more than she did before. Alex has no chill, like I said, and she pretends to be interested in moving in when they move out, which is why she met up with Beth in the first place. Now, Dan has had enough. He goes to Alex's place and tells her to cut the shit, ho. All right? She won't be ignored though, she says. She is keeping that baby and demands respect. She then threatened to tell Beth. Dan then yokes her ass up against the wall and threatens to kill her if she tells Beth. Dan and his family move. Okay, they move out of the city, they have a fresh start, but not long after, the bullshit restarts. Dan's in a parking lot one day with the new bunny that he just got for Ellen, and he finds that his car is all smoky. We see Alex in the parking lot with her crazy looking ass watching him. He ends up getting his car fixed, and he pulls off from out of the parking lot in New York City to drive home, and is followed by Alex. And I'm like, bitch, don't you work? Alex, what happened to your editing job, girl? Dan has a package from Alex that she left at his office. It's a cassette tape, and as he's driving home, he starts to listen to it. It's her talking. She mentions how she still tastes him. I'm like, girl, you freaky. And that he needs to take responsibility for his actions. All right? She said that he can't just walk into her life and be selfish. She then calls him a cock-sucking son of a bitch. She then calls him a flaming fucking faggot. Girl. Alex. Bitch, Glenn Close, the fact that these hoes didn't give her an Oscar by now, I will never let them rest. All right? Acting her ass off. So Alex now knows where Dan lives. She watches Dan and his family and throws up. Girl, you are disturbed. And at first I thought she was lying about her pregnancy, but when I saw her throw up, I'm like, maybe she is pregnant. Dan tries to report Alex to the lieutenant for his car, but doesn't get far because he doesn't have any proof. Now, bitch, Dan and his family gets home one day. Beth sees a pot on the stove. Shit is boiling. The stove is on. She goes over to it and she sees Ellen's new pet rabbit being made into soup. When I tell you my jaw was on the floor, okay? So after all this, Dan finally comes clean to Beth about the affair. Of course, she is devastated, but it's when he mentions the pregnancy that she really loses her shit and tells him that she wants his ass gone, bitch. She said, pack your shit. Ellen sees it all, and this kid was acting. She was really good. Okay, give her an Oscar too. Dan calls Alex and tells her that Beth now knows. Beth gets on the phone and she tells Alex, bitch, I will kill you if you come near my family again, ho. Beth has had enough. So Dan moves out because he ain't have no choice. And it's all just so sad, you know, because he's talking on the phone to Ellen and, you know, she can't see her dad. It's just crazy. So shit gets even crazier as Beth goes to pick Ellen up from school. Now, Ellen is not there. The teachers don't know what the hell happened. I'm like, how do y'all just let the child go with anyone? One of the teachers said that it was Beth who came to pick her up. I'm like, you are fired. Miss Teacher, you are fired right now. So, of course, it was crazy ass Alex who came to pick Ellen up from school. Beth, rightfully so, is losing her shit. Alex takes Ellen to the fair. They're on roller coasters and shit. I'm like, Alex, this is kidnapping, babe. Okay? Beth loses it. She gets in a car accident and gets injured. Dan, this is all your fault. Alex ends up dropping Ellen off at home like it's nothing. Okay, Beth is now injured in the hospital. Dan, he then goes to Alex's apartment and he's fucking pissed. They have this scuffle, breaking windows and shit. He's strangling her. He lets her go. She grabs a knife. Luckily, he's able to stop her, but then he drops the knife and they both just stop and they're panting and looking at each other and Dan leaves. Dan, you should have just finished the job, man. You're already breaking and entering. Just finish the job. Instead, he goes to the lieutenant. The lieutenant still doesn't have anything on her, but says he'll bring her in for questioning. So Beth is back home. Dan is at the house with her. She's about to get in the shower. He says to let her know if she needs anything. He goes downstairs to make her some tea. Out of nowhere, bitch. Now, this was so eerie. We see Alex standing in the bathroom after Beth wipes the mirror. Alex is standing there with a knife. She says, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh, she's out of it. Okay, yes, ×2. And she's like, you know, Dan stopped by my place earlier, but he couldn't end things because we both feel the same way about each other. And I'm like, girl, you need help. While she's talking to Beth, she has the knife and she's poking herself through her dress and she starts bleeding. It's wild. So she then tries to attack Beth with the knife. Dan's slow ass finally hears what's happening and he runs upstairs and he's trying to hold Alex down, ends up throwing her into the overflowing bathtub and drowns her. She's out. She did stab him a couple times. He's sitting at the edge of the tub. Now, when he drowned her, it was giving exorcism, okay? Because she looked crazy. It looked like a demon was coming up out of her. So Dan is sitting on the tub. It's all over, or so he thought, because bitch, she comes back to life and she tries to get his ass, but thankfully, bitch, we have Beth, who is very smart. She has the gun and she finishes the job on Alex. Now, bitch, this movie I am so late to the party, but I'm glad I am here. Better late than never, right? What a classic. Glenn Close was great. Michael Douglas, the actress who played Beth, the actress who played Ellen, they were all phenomenal. A great film, okay? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. And if you have any movie suggestions that you would like me to review here on Ratchet Reviews, let me know. And as always, I will see y'all next time.